Hi, so I'm going to put my mic up here a little bit to make sure you can hear me. What I'm going to do is make some templates for Facebook advertising, especially for book. You could really use these templates for any kind of Facebook advertising, but I'm doing it especially for free or 99-cent book promotions because a lot of authors do those, but they don't know how to share that news. And the best way to do it is with a strong graphic. So I'm just going to use my free online design tool and make some templates that you can download and use for your own book promotion campaigns. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with you and then talk you through what I'm doing. So let me go to my online tool, which is this. This is just at DIYbookcovers.com. It's the cover maker tool. And over here, you've got custom sizes. And I already have a custom size of a Facebook ad. And the ideal Facebook ad is the width 1,200 by 627. And that's also just a nice rectangular shape you can use for Twitter or Facebook or almost anything. So we'll start with just that size, and then I'll import some images. Probably you don't want just a white background, but we'll start with a white background first anyway. And actually, we're going to save these as PNGs because the quality will be better, but the PNG has a transparent background. So even though this looks white, when you save it, this will be transparent. So you're going to need to, if you want to keep the white, you need to add a rectangle that's white and put it behind everything. Even though it looks the same, now there's a solid layer behind so that you won't get that transparency. But you could also do something like, I could start off putting this as a gradient. Probably you'd want the dark on top like this. That might change the color. You could use any color. You want to basically use a color that complements the book and also the genre. The genre, like if it's a horror thriller, should be black, red, scary. If it's a comedy or something lighter, it could be light blue or yellow. So you want to think about that when you're designing your colors. But for this, I'm just going to go with like that color. Yeah, it's too light. I'm actually just going to leave it kind of grayish. And I'll take this one off. It's just a little bit more refined than a plain white background would be. And I could just leave it something like this, and then I'll add in a picture of the book. Whoops. And I'm going to make some for Jerry Fink's book. And I've already made some 3D images, which you can't make in this tool, but you could have done by somebody else. But if you don't have these, that's fine, because I'm also going to make some that's just using the cover. So I'll upload the cover also. Let's see. I could use a 3D image like this, but I'll probably just use this cover. And so I'm going to make all of these, but when you are doing it, you don't really have to make them because I'll save these templates and you can just open the templates and it'll be done and you can just change the text and add your cover. So let's start with this one. So I'm going to hide this other layer. I've got a layers panel over here and I can do a lot of neat things. So let's say I just wanted to promote the book. I just put the book there. And it's tricky actually because with Facebook, you're only allowed 20% text and the book cover already has so much text that they might outlaw it if you've got a long title or something. So it's tricky. You may not be able to use it as an ad. In that case, you may want to just fill this space with the art and not the title. and then just use the title and the text in the description of the Facebook ad rather than in this image. So the image is really just something to catch their eye, something kind of grabbing. Probably if it's the cover, they'd probably let it pass, but it's mostly automated. They have kind of a robotic scanner that'll check if there's more than 20% of the text is image. So I could do something like this, which is just the graphic. And then I could put some text on top of that. Oops. And I'm just going to keep a really simple font, and I'm just going to say something like your book, because you want to keep the text less than 20%, and then the details, a short description or something will be, I'm going to add a little bit of glow behind this. And I could change it to red, or I could add a gradient or something to it. It's a good start. So I could save this as a PNG. I'm going to do a bunch of these and kind of play around. Let me make a new folder for ads. Something else that you can do if you want to add a call to action, a little button or something. Actually, I have this somewhere already set up. I'll import a picture, and I'll go to here. I already downloaded a whole bunch of Amazon buttons, so I can just grab a button like that and say order now at Amazon.com. This looks really stylish. So this is something you could use if they're going to click on it and go directly to Amazon. You may not want to do that. You're basically, when you're doing Facebook advertising, you're trying to target people very specifically, but it's so cold calling. So if you get someone to click on the book, but they don't know much about it, they're just clicking for a little bit more information, then there's a good chance they'll click to go to Amazon, but they won't buy it because they weren't really that interested in it. So you really have to sell them before they go to Amazon. And you can do that with a really good advertisement. I'll usually do something like I'll put a review or a quote on the top of this. I could even just go to, this is the book on Amazon, and I could just read one of the reviews. And I could just grab something like an intricate tale of people, and I could just copy something like that from Amazon and then go back to my tool. And I'm just going to paste. The problem with this is that even though it's a great quote, it'll definitely help to convert. You may not be able to use it if you're advertising, but it's fine if you do a shared post, and it might be okay. It's probably not okay for a boosted post anyway. It's fine for Twitter or something. It's worth making it anyway because it'll definitely sell better if you have a review or if you have a little blurb or a tagline or some more information, because you really want to give them some more information before they click over. Some authors have also had more success if you get them to click to a website first, and on your website you can sell a little more before you send them over to Amazon. I'm actually going to change this. Free book isn't really enough. I'm going to add a time limit. I'm going to make this smaller. This is, oops, this is turning into a pretty nice ad. It's just a problem with Facebook's 20% text only limitation. But like I said, basically, I mean, if you were doing it for Facebook, you could use this same stuff. You'd want to use the really good blurb or review or a tagline. You can use all that in your Facebook ad in the text itself rather than in the image. I'm actually going to change the font a little bit, I think. I've got a lot of fonts built into this. I don't have as many as I'd like. I'm going to have to add more. That's a pretty good one. I could also space this out a lot if I wanted, but I probably won't. For a lot of things, I would space out the text. It makes it a little more professional looking, but for a thriller, this kind of book where it's already kind of bloody and scary, it's okay to have tighter text. It's unfortunate you can't, there's no kerning with this program I built. Normally in Photoshop, like see the extra space between the A and the Y, that's always going to happen, and the L and the Y. There's this big space here. In Photoshop, you would kern, you'd take out that extra space for those letters, because when you pair certain letters together, they're going to have more space than others. The only way I could do it here, I mean, if I wanted to be really serious about it, I would have to copy all the layers and then just use that Y and just move that one layer over a little closer. So yeah, I mean, you could do it, but it would take a little longer. And most people aren't really going to notice that anyway. Anyway, so I could do something like this. I'm going to save that as a PNG too. And I'll start saving these as templates so that you can use them. Actually, I'll just save this one now. So I can save this as a project template so that you'll be able to open it up and play with it later. Let's see what another button looks like. I could also, if I wanted to, add something like this, limited time offer. And you can get stuff, I mean, you could make your own. I could just go up here to the circle button and make a circle and add a gradient. And then add my text over the top. I could do that. So you can really make your own. But also, if you just go up to Google and you search for like an image, you'll find a whole bunch of images you can use. I mean, any of these you could grab and save and then just upload in the tool and put whatever you want. I'm just going to grab some more of these. This one's kind of funny. Warning, this is a real limited time offer. Will definitely get attention. With book promotion, it's tricky now because there's so many free books anyway. I mean, books are always free or 99 cents. So if you're like, it's a special offer, it's free, or it's 99 cents, people aren't going to care about free 99 cents because there's hundreds of thousands of books. What they want is a good book. So what you have to do is convince them that your book is a good book. And to do that, you're really going to want to focus on, you're going to want some reviews, you're going to want some social proof. So I could add like 5 stars on Amazon. I think this is transparent, but maybe not. No, it's not. I can make one later that's transparent PNG. And then I'll probably make like a big folder so that you can add in some of the stuff. I could actually, though, with this tool, I can blend it like this, but it's going to be darker. You can do it that way. And if you put it on like a light background, then it'll look okay. But I'm not going to use that. You could just put something like 5-star reviews. There's another dark button I like. But this big one's really nice. You can just have a call to action. Like I can just put a simple button and then I could change the colors to whatever I wanted. Probably red. And then you can just say, like here or get started now. And now I just need to take that glow away. So I have to go down to my layers. Oops. Well, I can't find my layer anymore. There it is. So my effects, I just take away that glow filter. This is kind of nice. This tool is a lot like Photoshop. For an online tool, especially for a free online tool, because I'm not charging for it, it's a pretty impressive tool. Anyway, so I can do something like that and just make my own buttons and then just customize it to whatever you want to say. Maybe a click here will be better than order now it ends on. Although it's nice to tell them where they're going to go after they click the button to make them kind of feel more secure. Let's try hiding this one and just going with something like this. For this one, I'm actually going to take away that gray background. Although sometimes you'll want to, looks really sharp just with the white. The text stands out a lot better. I mean, that looks fine. So I could save that one. But I could also do with that fancy one I made earlier. And the problem with this is that there's all this extra space. I can make it bigger to fill in the space, but then it gets kind of too big. So I'd probably just fill in one of these spaces black. Looks okay though, white though. I could just leave it like that. Then this would have to be smaller. Or I could just make this white or black and put it over here. If you want to get rid of a hard edge like this edge down the bottom, there's not an easy way to do it, but you can do it with gradients. So I can add an image, and I made some gradient layers that I saved. So this is just a white bar of gradient. Oops, it's big. You can see how it fades out like that. So I can just put this where I want it, and it'll cover up that hard line. And then when I bring that quote on top, it'll really show up. So I could do something like this. That'd work really well too. I need just a really simple font for this. So you can kind of see how this would work. You could do a free book. You could do a 99-cent book campaign. You could also just grab something like a 99-cent image. Find a bunch of stuff like this. And sometimes, I mean, these graphics will work a little better than whatever else. So maybe instead of this, I'll just add a 99-cent sticker. It's a little bit small though. I could also add something like this, bestseller, #1 bestseller. It's that social proof. You gotta actually be a #1 bestseller in your category, or you should be, otherwise people will click and then they'll see you're not a bestseller and they won't trust you anymore. This one works pretty well. It's nice and big. You probably want the book cover in there somewhere, at least some of the art. I mean, even if you choose to go really simple, something like this. You'd still want to have the cover of the book so they know that it's a book. Or you could just do something like that, but then they don't know what it is. So it's probably better to have the book cover. As long as you, I mean, Facebook might not let you do it because it's got too much text still. So that's always problematic. But mostly it's just, I mean, your ad on Facebook. Go look at Facebook. The ads, they look like this. So you've got that box and then you've got this text. And mostly this box, you just want to grab their eye with some color, and it's got to be some image that's related to the book. So like when I do my book, I'll just use this as the image for the book cover, and I'll just use that in this box, and then I'll have the text underneath. I made a bunch of 3D stuff for my book too, but and it looks cool. I can probably use that on Facebook for promotions and stuff. But it's hard because you don't have much. You can't use the too much text or the Bennett. Anyway, I'm gonna make a bunch of these kind of templates. I'm gonna play around and make some more templates, and then I'll just leave a link in this video so you can download the templates and use them to promote your own books. Okay, bye-bye.